Who knew such a simple stitch could have so much personality? Meet the spike stitch, a beginner-friendly stunner that you can master with just a 2-row repeat. No fancy techniques or complicated color work, yet the results are anything but basic. This textured beauty works up shockingly fast and effortlessly, and I have a feeling you're going to be just as obsessed about it as I am. Hi, I'm Tony from TL Yarn Crafts, and I can't wait to show you how to work this brilliant little stitch. If you're ready to elevate your crochet game, hit that like button and join our crafty family for weekly demos and lots of creative inspiration. This video is one of many helpful tutorials to accompany the Crochet Amour Sampler, a beautiful 20-block Afghan that teaches new crochet stitches and techniques with every square. To get the row-by-row instructions for this square and find out how to make the entire sampler blanket, visit the link in the description. We'll start our spike stitch with our first color. Begin by making a slip knot, insert your hook, and tighten down the slip knot. To make our spike stitch, we need to start with a row of foundation single crochets in any odd amount, or if you prefer, you can do a row of chains in any even amount and then place single crochets across the row starting in the second chain from the hook. I prefer to work with foundation single crochets because it makes the bottom a little bit more stretchy and easier to work into. So to make your foundation single crochets, we'll start with a chain 2, and then we're going to insert our hook into the first of those chains, yarn over, pull up a loop, make sure you pull up that loop nice and tall and not too tight, yarn over, pull through 1, then yarn over, pull through 2. So we made our first foundation single crochet. To make your next stitch, we're going to rotate our work towards us and find these 2 loops of the chain that we made, which is right here. So we're going to use the tip of our hook to get under both of those loops. Just like that. Yarn over, pull up a loop, make sure that's tall and not too tight. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, going through 2 loops of that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Grabbing 2 loops, yarn over, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So for this stitch, we need a set of foundation single crochets in any odd amount. To count your stitches, just drop your hook, and you can count these little V's on the top here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 so far, and I need an odd amount. I'm going to continue making my foundation single crochets. You do yours, meet me back here, and we'll continue into the stitch pattern. I completed my foundation stitches. Now I'm going to move on to row 1 in the pattern. So I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and double crochet in this very first stitch right here. So the chain does not count as my first stitch. So when I rotate my foundation stitches, my first stitch is sitting right here, and I'm going to place a double crochet there. Next, I need to chain 1, skip the next stitch, double in the following. Make sure you grab both loops of that stitch, and we're just going to repeat this across the row. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double in the following. Chain 1, skip 1, double in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, double in the next. Repeat that across the row. Join me when you're done and we'll do the next row together. I'm reaching the end of my row. Just got a few more stitches to go here, and we are going to change color at the end of this row. So before I complete this double crochet, when I have just 2 loops left on my hook, I'm going to drop the color currently in use, but I'm not going to cut it. Instead, I'm going to add in my second color and continue from here. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and now we can move into row 2 of the pattern. So my first step is to single crochet here in the stitch at the base of the chain, so just under these 2 loops here. And next I need to do my spike stitch. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and then we'll do it together. So I need to go down into this space to the single crochet that I skipped here, but I'm going to do a spike stitch. So yarn over, I'm going to dip down into that stitch and push my hook to the back of the work. Then yarn over from here and pull up a very tall loop. Now the only way I can do that is if I'm not holding my yarn too tight in this hand. So I'm pulling up a tall loop to make sure all my loops are the same height, and then I complete my double crochet from here. That's my spike stitch. Let's do that again together. So I started the row with my single crochet, and now I'm going to spike down into this space, grabbing the 2 loops of that skipped stitch. Yarn over to start, grab those 2 loops, pushing the hook to the back of the work, yarn over, pull up a tall loop, making sure I keep soft tension on this hand, and complete my double crochet here. Single in the next stitch, spike in the space. So grabbing that stitch, pulling up a tall loop, and completing my double crochet. Single one, spike one. Oop, just like that. Single one, spike one. Goodness, here we go. Sometimes it's a little fiddly when you are just starting out like this, but once we add a bit more fabric onto our sample, it'll be much easier to control. So we're going to spike down into this space, followed with a single crochet. Spike one. Oh, there we go. Single one. Spike one. Single one. And you'll just repeat that all the way down the row, ending with a single crochet in your last stitch. Spike one, single one, nearly there, spike one, and single one. Great. Now we're going to chain one. Moving on to the next row, we start with a double in the next stitch, and we jump into the repeat from row one. Chain one, skip one, double in the next. Chain one, skip one, double in the next. Chain one, skip one, double in the next. Repeat that down the line. Meet me when you get to the end. We're going to change color and continue in our stitch pattern. Here I am at the end of my row. I did my chain one. I'm going to skip this stitch and double in the last stitch. And before I complete that stitch, I'm going to drop this color and grab my other color, which is still attached to my work. Just lift that up. Make sure you don't pull it too tight. We don't want this float to be overstretched. Chain one, turn our work, and now we need to do our spike row. So remember that starts with a single crochet, and then we spike down into the space, grabbing the 2 loops of the skipped stitch, which is right here. So yarn over to start, grab the stitch, pull up the loop, complete the double crochet. Single in the stitch, spike into the space, pulling up a tall loop, so definitely keep this tension soft or you're gonna have a heck of a time. Single in the next stitch, spike stitch, single in the next, spike stitch, single in the next, and repeat this across the row. Just a few more stitches to go here. I've got a spike going down into this space, and I'm going to end with a single in the top of this stitch. So we can see that our spike stitch pattern is coming along. Let's do the next row together. Chain one, turn our work, and this one starts with a double in the first stitch. Double in the first stitch, yep. Chain one, skip one, double, chain one, skip one, double. And we'll repeat that all the way across. We're reaching the end of our row, and just like before, we're going to change color on this last stitch. So we're just going to continue to bring these colors up the side of the work with us. Chain one, turn, and we're going to continue in this established pattern. So it's a 2-row repeat with color changes. So we're changing color every 2 rows, and we're completing 2 rows with each color. So continue on. I'm going to add a bit more fabric to my swatch as well. Join me back here and we'll take a look at them together. Just a few more stitches to go here. I'm absolutely loving this spike stitch so much. It works best with highly contrasting colors, and it is a great stash buster. One more single goes here. We're going to lift that loop. I'm going to cut a few of these tails off. Now that I'm done with this, I can cut that off. But I'm going to leave this attached, and look at that. It's so pretty. Now, I don't know about anybody else, and y'all let me know down in the comments, but do you see the kitty cats? The kitty cats, they look like they're sitting over a little ledge with their little feet. Do you see cats? I don't know. With this stitch, I see cats. But either way, it's an absolutely gorgeous stitch. I think it makes the spike stitch a very simple and approachable stitch pattern, and I do hope you'll give it a go. And if you do, let me know down in the comments, and be sure to like this video. Otherwise, I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.